Hey Crestwood, happy Wednesday to you. Hope you all are doing well, having a great week so far. It is such an honor to be your pastor and honor to bring you this devotional for this Wednesday, August 2nd. So I am still recovering from our denomination's General Assembly, which was this past Saturday through Tuesday. I actually had to go over Friday for an event, and I was commuting, so driving back and forth to Louisville every day. I'm very glad not to see I-64 for a while. Been a little bit on the road, but it has totally been worth it. As I mentioned in the sermon, I was in charge of communion and deacons, and what an honor to serve our general church in that way, and to be able to do a very, very small part to help General Assembly happen. This is our first time meeting in 4 years as a denomination, and as you all know from COVID, church isn't the same when you can't be there in person with each other. And so this felt like a big family reunion in some ways, to come back together as a denomination, to see so many friends and family and folks that have been an important part of my faith journey and an important part of my life. And also to see what the denomination looks like post-COVID. This was a much smaller General Assembly than we've had in the past. We know the fact as a church is that we're not as big as we used to be. And there was such an interesting spirit about this General Assembly, because in the past, as we've gathered together, it seemed like there was a good amount of complaining of the mainline church is dying and we have to attract the young people, and what are we going to do, and we don't have the money we used to have. A lot of hand-wringing that was a part of that, and that would show up just in people's sort of ongoing criticism of the General Assembly. Oh, that was too far to walk, or the chicken at the meal I went to wasn't cooked all the way through. There was just this, I don't want to say negativity, but just this feeling of, gosh, things aren't the way they used to be. Man, was this assembly different. First of all, the worship services were just outstanding. The music was incredible. The preaching was phenomenal. There was this spirit present in that ballroom in the convention center that was just palpable. And so there was something really uplifting about that time of worship together. Ministers don't get a chance just to sit and worship very often. And so it was so nice just to be able to do that. Even though I was working, I didn't get to hear all of the preachers or listen to all the music. When I was able to, it really was inspiring. And there seemed to be an overall theme to the assembly that was more focused on who we are and who we're going to be moving forward than there was worrying about who we used to be. And I really appreciated that. There was an acknowledgement that we're smaller, we're leaner, we don't have all the resources that we used to have. But you know what? That shouldn't affect our witness to Jesus Christ and who he has called us to be. There were resolutions passed opposing Christian nationalism. There was a resolution passed supporting transgender rights and opposing some of the legislation that states are passing against those things, which are in some ways implicitly promoting violence and discrimination. And there was a resolution passed about who we are as disciples and how we are to govern ourselves, which is going to make us, going to streamline how that happens, and that was very appreciated. And then the sermons, the two that I got to hear the most of, one was from a military chaplain, and very much appreciated him sharing his witness of ministry and his struggles being in the military and yet serving Jesus Christ, who certainly opposed violence. And then our general minister and president, Reverend Dr. Terry Hord Owens, preached last night, and her call for us to continue to be a witness in this world, to continue to be a movement for wholeness, fighting against racism, fighting against prejudice, fighting against the forces that seek to divide us. It was just, she's so inspiring. She's such an amazing preacher. And so I'm coming back tired, definitely worn out, but also inspired by who we are as disciples. I am proud to be a disciple of Christ. And that was the message of the last worship service. There were testimonies shared by people, and they would end by saying, I, their name, am a disciple. And I'm proud to say today that I, Kory Wilcoxon, am a disciple. I claim that identity because of who we are as a denomination, but more importantly, who we are as followers of Jesus Christ. And I want to encourage you to do the same. There is so much good about our church, about Crestwood, about our denomination. I want us to claim that, to claim the excitement we have moving forward of being who God called us to be. We don't have to have all the answers. We just have to follow God's lead. And I am so honored to be the pastor who is leading you into whatever the future God has for us. So today, I want you to celebrate the fact that you are a disciple, not just a part of a denomination, but part of a movement, part of those who are following Christ into this exciting future. God bless you, Crestwood.